My name is Rachel. No, not some weeping lady in lace and lavender. Rachel, surgeon, bloodletter, knife-wielder, a man paid to cut and drain other people, yet politely referred to as doctor. They called me a quack. I didn't argue. After all, I never attended medical school, but I've cut more flesh than most slaughterhouses, and I still have all 10 fingers. That's an achievement in my profession. I practiced in a small town by the Rhine, where the poor prayed more than they ate, yet came to me as if I were God himself. They came with fevers, wounds, and complaints without names, and I offered one of 2 solutions: bloodletting or amputation. No anesthesia, no painkillers, just leather straps, strong hands, and the scream of the damned echoing off stone walls. I once asked a patient, "Would you rather lose blood or lose a leg?" He chose both, and I was happy to oblige. Don't wince. 1815 was not an age of mercy. It was a time when people believed the soul sat in your intestines and headaches were caused by impure thoughts or an overfilled brain. And I, Rachel, was the man paid to drain that brain. You may hate me, but you won't stop listening. Because if I am a monster, I am only the bastard child of a far more monstrous age. You think medicine is light, science, salvation? No. In 1815, medicine was dice. The surgeon rolled them. The patient prayed they wouldn't land on death. We believed blood was the source of illness. Too much of it. You'd get fever. Not enough? You'd faint. Wrong place? Madness. So we bled them. With knives, with horns, with leeches. We'd place fat leeches along the neck, like Christmas ornaments. Each one gorging itself on hope. We called it balancing the humours. It sounded scientific, but, truthfully, it just left people too weak to argue. I once treated a boy, 8 years old, sore throat. His parents thought he was possessed. I wringed his neck with 12 leeches. By morning, the pain was gone. So was the boy's strength. They gave me bread and a roasted chicken. They said I saved him. We were proud, arrogant. If you used leeches, you were progressive. If you used herbs, you were a witch. One man had headaches. I bled his legs, because obviously blood rises to the head. So drain it from below. Logical, no? No? Welcome to 1815. I saw a man burn a patient's hair to cure a cough. Another hung a child upside down to reverse the blood. And me? I just cut and drained. A bowl of blood, a satisfied shrug, and an invoice written in crimson. Surgery, simple. 1 sharp blade, 2 strong men to hold the limbs, 1 woman to muffle the screams. And me, Rachel, with a blood-stained apron and cold hands. No ether, no morphine, only God's silence. My first memorable case. A 16-year-old boy. Crushed leg. His parents begged me to save him. I said, I can save what's left. So I cut. 3 minutes and 18 seconds from knee to bone to floor. The boy shrieked like an animal. They called it surgical precision. I called it mercy. To be done before I threw up. I tied the stump with hemp rope, packed it with pepper. He died 3 days later. They still thanked me. Frankly, I was relieved. I had no idea how to replace the leg. Another time, a bloated old woman, abdominal swelling. I figured, gas. I slit her from sternum to pelvis. Inside, dark blood, twisted organs, nothing in the right place, everything slick. I pulled and tugged like rummaging through wet laundry. She survived for 11 minutes, enough to ask if I was a priest. I told her, no, madam, I'm simply the man helping you meet one sooner. My apron was never washed. Layers of dried blood made it stiff like armour. Some wore white coats. I wore my experience. Patients saw me and wept. I entered rooms like a conductor, and their screams were my symphony. If you ask me, Rachel, have you killed anyone? I'll say, only those foolish enough to believe I could save them. I didn't just survive on blood and blades. I thrived on reputation. And nothing spreads faster than a surgeon who leaves his patients speechless, permanently. They called me the Iron Hand of Hesse. Letters came from Paris, Vienna, even Lyon. People begged for my opinion. They believed I was a miracle worker, and I didn't correct them. Gold speaks louder than truth. I remember a noblewoman. Chronic cough. She feared throat cancer. I said, "No, madam, just impure lung blood." I drained half a litre from her armpit. She passed out, then passed away. Her family wept. I calmly removed my gloves and asked, "Will you be needing a priest or a coffin first?" They praised my efforts, gave me wine and roasted duck. Back then, dying under a doctor's knife wasn't a scandal. It was practically an honour. And I realised the dead don't complain. The living just want a story that makes the pain feel worth it. And I always had a story. Now my hands tremble, my blades are rust, the screams no longer echo at night. And I wonder, what was I? A butcher? Maybe? A healer? Hardly. A monster? Not quite. I was a product, a function of an era where death was common and medicine was still medieval. I didn't invent cruelty, I simply followed the rules. Bloodletting, to rebalance. Surgery, without sleep or mercy. Filthy hands, as symbols of experience. If blame is to be placed, don't look at me. Look at the age that birthed me. I didn't create hell, I only practiced in it. So if you're watching this, in a time of anesthesia, vaccines, sterilization, and doctors who actually know what they're doing, be thankful. And if you ever find my old apron, burn it. It still smells like 1815. Am Rachel. Quack, cutman. And now, just a ghost, haunting the bloodstained pages of medical history.